Give yourself a applause. We're right here. We've been here. We're celebrating Pride. And we will continue celebrating Pride. So to all of you that are watching online and to you here, happy Pride Month. So thank you, Venida, and everybody that invited me into the bootcamp, preaching bootcamp. My name is Jaim Kent. I've been coming to Forefront together with my husband who sits right here since 2019. Thank you. This month, we started with the sermon series called Dear Paul. The topic for today is, what is it up with excluding queer people? Not only queer people, but all the people also are allies. Why are you excluding them? So since we are in Pride Month, why don't we talk about the closets that we have? So, as you can see, you can choose for yourself which one is closer to your identity or to your personality, who you are. Do you identify with any closets? So, today I want to talk to you about coming out, not only as one thing that only queer people do. We all have our closets that keeps us in darkness. Coming out is a phenomenon. We all share and struggle with it throughout our lives. So, a little bit more about me, as you can see. This is me. Little Jaim over there. But this is the country that I was born in, Curacao. So, it was here that I started going into my closet and putting my mask on. So I was 8 years old. I went into my gay closet. My dad and his friends, back in those days, they were building our houses and they were drinking beer. I overheard them talking about effeminate men and how they should be beaten up. So I knew I was different. But then, never knew that people, even my dad, could be violent against queer people like this in this way. So then I decided to show them that I was one of them. I grabbed my blue cup and I walked to my dad and his friends and I said, pour me some beer. They cheered my dad like, wow, look at your son. He's going to be such a strong man. But then they didn't know that I did that action only because I was afraid. I was trying to hide myself and not understanding that for an 8-year-old that it was my dad talking in this way. So my safety was gone. And I started putting those masks on and kept me in my closet. When I was 13, my mom took us to the Netherlands. For a while, I still felt a sense of joy and connection with God and Jesus, even though I continued to hide my identity. Over the years, I became involved with a church, with my parents, my natural desire to connect with people, and found a place there, especially when I joined the worship team. I then also went into Bible school. There is where I started preaching against homosexuality. But then, that road didn't last long, because in a certain time, my own identity started coming out. My mask needed to come off. And those closets started to cracking open. Revealing my true self meant facing potential judgment or disapproval and feelings that I had sensed since I was a kid. Did you ever needed to come out? Did you needed to come out and be your true self? So, in this world, there is many closets that we all can put ourselves in. One of them, men hiding their feelings, women holding back their drive, partners sticking to old gender roles, fear of being judged or cast out, believing negative things you say about yourself or about queer people. Coming out of our closets allow us to be our authentic self. Our false selves, our complexes, our limited beliefs can all be associated with a metaphor of closets. These are areas of shame, doubt, fear, or imprinted in us in an early childhood. The necessity to conform to norms of society and fears of parents or religion, when we break out of those closets, we become truly free and live authentically. I love a passage in the Bible. It is John 8:32. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So, the truth will set you free. The truth between you and God. Could it be that God is challenging us today to seek out our truth? The truth lies within us. The truth was never separated from us. As a child, we have embodied our truth and our innocence. Throughout life, most of us unconsciously keep ourselves in closets. As this beautiful lady said, her name is Angelis Aryin. Many times we are forced at an early age to hide our true selves in order to survive. How many of you are surviving still today? At some point, this hiding becomes unnecessary. Yet, we find it hard, and it's understandable, to break out of this habit. Every day we choose whether we will support our authentic self or the false self. There are several studies also related to authenticity in workplace. One of them was from Hayes. It says over a third of people feel they cannot be their authentic self at work due to fear of judgment. The percentage is even higher under LGBTQ and disabled people. From childhood conformity to adult workplaces, we all navigate closets of suppressed emotions, ambitions, or identities. By breaking free and embracing our true self, we not only gain genuine freedom, but also aligns with a divine call to uncover the inherent truth that sets us free. Unfortunately, as many Christian faith communities, the scriptures is often misinterpreted to actually keep us in closets. For today's scriptures, let's go back to the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 6, 9 to 11, to 10, sorry. Or do you not know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither the sexual immoral, nor adulterous, nor men who practice homosexuality, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor the drunkards, nor the swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. When people read Paul's sermon or Paul's scriptures about homosexuality, they often miss a big point: context. His world was vastly different than ours, what we are living right now in. The city of Corinth in the first century was a wealthy, cosmopolitan city and a hub for trade and diverse populations, also known for its many false gods and loose sexual behaviors. Paul, right there, was the leader to guide the new believers. Paul was probably talking about very specific, common in his time, not about modern day same-sex relationships. What he was mentioning majority of the time was pedastry, male prostitution, wild lust, and sex in idol worship. A huge detail is the word homosexuality. How many of us has been painfully destroyed when people called us a homosexual person? A huge detail in the word homosexuality isn't even in the original Bible, not in Hebrew, not in the Aramaic or the Greek. It is a word made up in 1869. The word homosexual only showed up in the English Bible version the first time in 1946. A recent documentary called 1946, Mistranslation That Shifted the Culture, highlights this change. And in fact, some of you might recall that we had a viewing party of this documentary here at Forefront once. The way Paul's word has been interpreted, it has deeply and hurt and rejected queer people, causing a lot of fear and tragic consequences also. Let's stand still with that. Tragic consequences. Paul wrote specifically about situations in cultures and usually about non-Christian practices. Modern Christianity has twisted these words to control and to scare the LGBTQ people. Overall, this is what I think, overall, we don't need to dig through old texts to prove we deserve to exist. Our Creator knows us by name, loves us exactly who we are. Our goal should be to live genuinely, free from what others think. Live your own truth for yourself, not for anyone else. The Bible shows us also the importance of truth and living authentically, as well as how we are empowered, supported by God to live in our truth. A passage again in Matthew 5, verses 14 to 16. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light up a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Creator in heaven. You can't truly let your light shine if you're hiding it. So why are you hiding it? Stepping into who you truly are allows your good deeds to be seen, and also helps to inspire others, bringing glory to your Creator. Healing from hidden struggles is a personal journey. And while living out parts of your authentic self is liberating, opening up to others is difficult and can be at times dangerous. You don't have to share every breakthrough, especially if it might create problems, then work it with certain people. Being your authentic self first and foremost is about me, it's about you, and not others. God shows us we are light and that we need to live in our authenticity. When we live with shame, fear, and guilt, it doesn't just hurt our own happiness and our progress. It also impacts people around us. Hiding your truth, our experience, our energy can make us project negativity instead of joy, balance, and confidence. Brené Brown, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are. But let me tell you, sometimes it's hard. I can stand here and preach it very nicely, but it is hard. Because that has to do with work. With our busy lives, even living here in New York. Sooner or later, when you don't confront your closets, these hidden, scary complexities inside of us all, we can become people that are going to lash out to others. One thing that examples of how we can lash out is criticizing others constantly, bullying, narcissistic behaviors, abusive relationships, self-sabotage in your relationship or your career. We have tools, resources that can assist us in the ongoing change moving forward. The Word, the Bible, community, forefront. Important also to mention therapy, coaching, learning from heroes and books. Let's take a look at the key moments what the LGBTQ community has shown the world. Let's start with Stonewall. When we look at Stonewall in New York City, my perspective is that it wasn't only to fight for their rights. It was the fight to be part of existence, to live in love, peace, and authentically for all. Such also, we saw the effort and outcome of a long time fight and standing up for LGBTQ rights on June 26, 2015, when the Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage. If it wasn't for them legalizing it, I would have been here together with my husband. I would have not been here. So we're coming forward. We're moving forward. So what are we still fighting for, community? What are we still fighting for, queer community? We're still fighting for the rights of freedom, the right to love, the right to be seen as human, super important. The right to be accepted in a society, because we are part of the society and you cannot exclude us out of society. We're going to be here. We're not going to move forward. We're just only going to increase and grow together. The right to live authentic self. So, imagine a world, forefront, where more and more people live as their authentic self. This could happen if we all, as a community, focus on our own development and growth. So the question is to you, what is holding you back? What is holding you back from living authentically? I get emotional because I'm going to my mom's section. Sorry. Coming out to my mother, she asked me for forgiveness. She said, I love you. And I'm sorry that I haven't made you feel that I would reject you. She said to me, after carrying you for 9 months in my belly, that love will never, never cease. And then she said this to me, God has created you with such a beautiful light. Share it. Inspire others for them to see what the Creator really is about. Colorful, beautiful, magnificent. Till today, my parents, my mom, my sister, my brother, my family, you guys all support me. I have come a long way, not only because of my own strength, but because each one of you here also that supported me to move forward. This year also, I started going to therapy. As a black man, I started going to therapy. I started going to therapy and I started opening up more up to my husband, my friends, family members, and addressing the closets, addressing pain and traumas that I kept to myself. I thought carrying the mask and staying in the closet was the only way I would live and survive and be successful. The challenge now is to open up and come out after my first coming out, to continue opening up other closets, other masks. It's not one time. It's a continuing progress. So, I believe that the Spirit is calling us today upon pride to be brave, to identify closets and that take steps to release them also. And God is in the midst of it all, in the form of therapy, in the form of talking to friends, church, people, community, or even sometimes a stranger on the street that says something uplifting and beautiful to you. That is also God. So, I suggest this week that you find a picture of yourself as a child. Meditate on who you were at that time. Connect with the authentic you that had not yet been indoctrinated by family, society, or religion. Feel your authentic self. Reach out a hand to your authentic self. Listen to your authentic self. And reassure your authentic self. And break free out of your closet. Thank you.